Welcome to the concluding session on nouns. Nouns, we understood, is a very important part of speech. It is one of the component in English vocabulary that is very important. It has a large number of words in English vocabulary, probably only next to verb. Without a noun, it's impossible to frame a sentence at all. Nouns are naming words, basically. They name people, animal, things, ideas, entities, and so on. And they perform a variety of naming different things. As such, we have a wide variety of nouns. In our previous videos, we spoke about different kinds of nouns: common nouns, proper nouns, collective nouns, abstract nouns, compound nouns, countable nouns, and uncountable nouns. These are the wide variety or types of nouns that we discuss about. We understood that common nouns are generic names given to an item in a class or a group. It is not capitalized when we use it. Of course, if the word gets used at the beginning of the sentence or in a title, only then we use common nouns with a capital letter to begin with. It usually is accompanied by the indefinite article a or an, okay, and it may also have certain modifiers along with it, right? But however, it is denoting a class of entities. It's never an individual, right? For example, a cat, a dog, a car, a bus, a boy. These are all a general name given to a class of things. Moving on, we spoke about proper nouns. We understood that proper nouns are specific names given to any kind of common nouns, right? So if we are talking about a car will be a common noun, right? But if I say a Mercedes-Benz, right, that will be a proper noun. It is a name, a special name given to a kind of a car. That's called a proper noun. Okay. Now, a few examples on proper nouns would be maybe names of people like India. It is the name of our country, right? Okay. So it is a proper noun. One of the things that we need to bear in mind when we use proper nouns is that it is mandatory that it begins with a capital letter, right? Irrespective of where it gets used, it needs to begin with a capital letter. At times, there may be the definite article, the, used in front of it, but it depends on the kind of the word we use. Moving on, we further discussed about collective nouns. Collective nouns, as the word denotes, it is a group or collection of people or things. Okay. Collective nouns, we always address them in singular, right? As such, it also takes singular verb form. A collective noun is something where we are talking about a group that functions as one unit or performs the same action at the same time. There are various collective nouns that we use. A crowd of people, maybe a team, a committee, pride, and so on. There are special names, special noun forms that are used for different collections. For example, a bunch of keys, a pride of lions, a kennel of dogs, okay, a heap of something, right? So you can use various things and every collective noun has a special name. Then we spoke about something called abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are talking about intangible ideas, right? They are not things that people can see or use your senses to understand, right? But we know that it exists. Okay, so this abstract nouns are more connected with feelings, emotions, thoughts, even a quality. Okay, abstract nouns also are always treated as singular nouns. Okay, few examples are like happiness, love, care, clever, idea, and so on. Then finally we spoke about compound nouns. Compound nouns are nouns that are formed as a combination of a noun and another element, or maybe two parts of speech come together to form a compound noun. Usually the combination is a noun and noun, noun and adverb, adjective and verb, verb and verb. These are the combinations that mostly form a compound noun. We'll move on and talk about the next noun in picture, that is the count nouns. Count nouns are countable nouns. Okay, as the name suggests, these are nouns that can be counted. Even if the number may be extraordinarily high, you can still count them. Okay, so in other words, you can enumerate these nouns, right? As in you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, 1000, 10,000, a lakh, and so on. But you still can count. Okay, like we can say maybe a number of people. Okay, though it is a huge task, we still end up with a count for the population in any given country. Okay, right? Now, these count nouns have plural forms. This is one of the significant things that you need to remember, that count nouns have plural forms. Countable nouns can be used with articles a or an, a definite article the. We can also use determiners like some, any, a few, many. These are all few words that we can use. It can be preceded by any of these words. Few examples: a cat, right? Okay, a cat is a countable noun. There is a plural form for cat. It is cats, right? So I can say many cats, a few cats, some cats, right? Okay, so then a man, right? So if we have a lot of men around, we call them as a band of men, right? We can also say a few men, right? Okay, some men standing on the road. Okay, so these are all few possibilities of using these count nouns with determiners or articles. A friend, right? A few of my friends. Okay, an apple, many apples, the apples, right? So you will note that all the articles and determiners can be used with many of the count nouns depending on the usage. The next will be the non-count nouns, right? We also call it as a mass noun or an uncountable noun. As the name suggests, it is something that is not countable. Okay, so it is in a state of quantity that is not countable, right? So uncount nouns are always singular. They don't have plural forms. Okay, we can use some, any, a little, much with uncountable nouns, right? Some, any, a little, much, these are all determiners. Okay, we are checking the quantity of it, right? So you can't talk about it in numbers. For example, here, water, right? Water is an uncountable noun. Okay, right? So there is no word at all like waters. It's an incorrect usage in English, right? Water, some water, little water. Okay, oil, right? Oil is also uncountable. Any oil, some oil, a little oil. Homework is another uncountable noun, right? There is no plural form of uncountable noun. So people who use homeworks, Okay, kindly change yourself. There is nothing called homeworks. Okay, homework. It is non-count. You can either say it as some homework, a little homework, a lot of homework, and so on. Learning outcomes from watching videos on nouns. You should be able to understand the importance now of nouns in English language. It is one of the largest component in English language. To identify different types of nouns, with the understanding of nouns, you should be able to frame better sentences.